So this video is interesting because it's sort of a follow-up of two different videos. It's a direct follow-up of the video I just recorded for my other channel, which was a very basic introduction into what I'm about to show you, but it's also a follow-up to a stream I did quite a while ago, which demonstrated how this script used to work before how it works now, and I don't know how long this is going to take, and I haven't really planned anything out, but I want to tell you about VidHelp Pro, my one of my many auto hotkey scripts. To just give a basic tour, this is what I use to put all the videos from the Zeke playlist of Kumo into a playlist on the Zeke Reads channel of Kumo. AutoMC, I tried to automate Minecraft, it doesn't work. AutoMC, this is just me testing. This is me testing things that would work for this. It doesn't work. Minecraft doesn't like consistent inputs. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but moving your mouse the same amount 10 times back and forth won't actually move the screen the same exact amount 10 times back and forth. I don't know. Get it back. What was that? I don't actually remember. Oh, get it backwards was when I had the script back, or not the script, the playlist backwards. Get it backwards. G-state is an elaboration on one thing I do in here called ready. And also, G-state is built into this, actually. G-state, like I said, it's built into this. I'll talk about more of that later. Mobile MC was when I tried to control Minecraft with my phone. Haven't fully fleshed out that. Probably possible. Now phone thing is phone commands. Testrino is the thing I use to test. Start.ahk is literally just a script that runs automatically. And what it does is it runs VidHelp Pro. And this is actually a shortcut to the script that's in the startup folder, so that when the computer starts, this runs, and the only thing that this does is that it runs VidHelp Pro. The reason I have a separate hotkey for it is if I ever want to edit this one, let's put it in here where we can edit. If I ever want to edit this one, I can be like, okay, do this other thing at startup as well as run VidHelp Pro, because I want VidHelp Pro just always running, because the whole goal of this fucking script is to just reduce the amount of steps to a ridiculously small amount. And here's our VidHelp series. All of these, actually. VidHelp Basic is the one that's available for public on the Discord channel. VidHelp Basic 1.1 is the upgrade of that, which uses a part of this. Eventually, I'm going to improve this more to add more of the features from this one, because this is VidHelp Pro. VidHelp Mobile, when I'm using my computer from my phone, it works a little bit differently, so that's why there are things like Mobile MC, Now Phone Thing, and VidHelp Mobile. VidHelp Pro is the one we're about to talk about, and VidHelp Time Tests is the one that I was using to test how parts of this would work. So, Microsoft account problem. Let's jump right into this. DoVid. DoVid is great. Okay, so I'm going to go about this how I did, I think, last time, in that I'm going to talk about what happens as it happens. So as soon as the script turns on, these happen. This is called like the autocomplete or auto section or whatever. This part is built in pretty much automatically. I think I can turn that off, but this happens, and I can delete it, but every time I make a new script, this happens, except for this part. This set working directory, this sets for the script what folder it takes files from. This is actually very important. And this sets this folder, WD-40, for working directory 40. There's not 39 other working directories. I just thought the WD working directory, and I was like, hey, WD-40. A lot of these things are titled just stupidest jokes or just really, really bad titles that I know what they mean, but they're dumb. And it says ready to 0 and G-state to 0. I was telling you about that. This isn't anything that happens. This is a command. This is Alt T. This reloads the whole script. So if you look down here, when I press Alt T, the script reloads. Can you see my mouse? You can't. You can't see my mouse. So when you look at this, I need to remember that you can't see my mouse. So when you look at this thing down here, the script, that symbol goes away. You can't see my mouse. I need to remember that. Can't do anything about it either. So do vid, we'll have to get back to that. We can, this doesn't have any functional use, this symbol, but it allows me to close it. There are parts where it does have functional use. This here does have functional use because this is an if. So this is your G shit. No. This is a secondary G shit. This is what inspired G state because this is based on ready state. This doesn't happen yet either. Here's your G shit. This is your G state shit. When I press Alt G. Alt is that. Alt. I like doing that. Alt G state set to 1. We want to put that back to 0 though. We'll. This is actually for. I mean, all of these are to do with videos, but not exactly to do with what I just did. But yeah, so pressing Alt G, if G state is 0, it sets it to 1, gives you a message box. If it's set to 1, it sets it to 0 and gives you a message box. So that's why it needs to start out at 0, so that whenever you press it, it'd start out and turn into 1. This is actually all built around mouse commands for something that I'll show in a bit, perhaps. I should actually be streaming this, honestly, but no, I can't because I'm recording the audio separately, as I do with Kumo, which is why Audacity is running. But yeah, so video pad commands. This is gosh, what is this one? Oh! I was trying to remember what this symbol does. I forget exactly what it does. No, this symbol means that if I send the thing, so this is Shift A. This whole fucking command is actually useless now. What this used to do would be to change or to amplify the audio within VideoPad. But I don't do that anymore. Most of these video pad commands, I only use the Shift B, which is this plus B. Shift B we saw in the video before that opens up the export video thing. The interesting thing is when I press Shift B, first it checks if the window is active. So Shift B right now does fucking nothing. It sends a capital B because it checks if the active window is VideoPad, is this. If in here it says that if it's not that, get this fucking out of the way, please. Okay, here it says if it's not active, then just send Shift B. That's where this comes into play. This symbol means that if it detects a Shift B that was sent by the command, it doesn't activate it. So if this wasn't here, it would actually create just a loop of the command running, where it would Shift B, and then it would notice that I pressed Shift B, so it would activate the command, and then it would do it like 1,000 times in 1 millisecond or whatever, and then a warning would pop up that said, yo, wait, dude, chill. Fucking, you can't do that. Here, I can actually demonstrate, because if I backspace that, Control S to save, Control T, no, not Control T. Control T actually has its own built-in thing. It used to be Control T, now it's Alt T to reset. If I press Shift B, nothing happens. Well, that's a good demonstration of that nothing happens, because before we sent Shift B, no, I think if I double-click on here, it'll tell you that it's just trying to send Shift B. It's just trying to send Shift B a bunch of times. But whenever you have a command that's like a command, whenever you build a command into AutoHotkey, that button no longer retains its function in anything else, it just knows it as a command now, which is why I have to build that sort of G state shit, which we'll look at in a second. This is Shift L, helps me delete things, but I need to upgrade this portion. Hi, Tiger. So here's the meat. Here's the meat. This is sort of the meat. This is where things actually start. So, this I don't even fucking need here anymore. Oh, my mouse is glitching out and I don't know why. This I don't need here anymore. This is where it starts. This is where the major dovid command starts, is when I type in Kumo. This just says, when I type in Kumo, these things happen. What these things are just setting parameters. So the whole idea behind the dovid specifically, and I mean the general theme of this command, but dovid, this one, is that I need it to work with multiple things, right? So here we have Kumo, here we have deprived, and here we have axbear, axb, dep for deprived. And all that this does is it sets parameters and then it runs dovid. And dovid looks at those parameters and it runs them all specific to the parameters that were just set when we used Kumo. This means that whenever because what it used to be would be that whenever I, wanted whenever I wanted it to happen, and what it used to be was just title description and tags. Now it's so much more. No, it's just the scheduling part that I added, which I'm so fucking proud of. Can't wait to get to that. This video is crazy long, I know. Should really be streaming this. This would go so much better if this were a stream. Now I'm thinking about wanting to do that because this is going to be a bitch to fucking produce. But yeah, this means that I don't have to add in the commands for every single one, right? So before it would be, okay, I type in Kumo, and then it would do the command that sends the title, and then it would move and it would do the command that sends the other shit, and it would move and it would do the command that sends the other shit. And then whenever I needed to do something else, whenever I would say, okay, let's do that for deprived, I would have to copy the entire thing, paste it again, change all of the words in it, and then if I ever wanted to change how the commands worked for this one, I'd have to change exactly how they worked for this one, and I was like, I'm fucking tired of that. Let's not do that anymore. Let's abuse the fuck out of parameters. So all that this is, pretty much, is it's setting parameters. So first thing it does is it sets the title parameter, Kumo desu ka nani ka. It says Eclipse saved parameter, which is a new parameter. This sort of idea was stolen from somebody else. I don't know who it was. But what this does is it sets a clip saved parameter to whatever's in the clipboard, and then it sets the clipboard to this. That's because the description portion works off clipboard, because sending clipboard like this works a lot faster than sending direct text through the send command through the parameters. So with these large blocks of description text, I set that to the clipboard, and then I move on, and I set the tags parameter to this. This comma at the end is very important because that finalizes that it's a fucking tag. I set ready to 1, which we'll get to. This is the original G state, basically. This is what G state was based off of. I set frequency to 1. Frequency is frequency of uploads. This means every that's the frequency of upload by day. This 1 means every 1 day it happens. DF is date file, Kumo date. Tim is time. 9 means 7 o'clock for reasons we'll get to later. TP means thumbnail position, which is number 3. Tit P is title position, and tit B is title B. Title B. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, because title is title A and tit B is title B. Basically, these two are files, while the other one's up top. We're not done with parameters, guys. We're not done with parameters. So all these parameters get set, right? And then we go to dovid. Now we can dig into dovid. Now we can look at this beautiful fucking set of commands. First thing it does is it reads tit pos. No. It reads tit p. Sorry. File read command works that the first thing is the parameter that it puts in. And this is the file that gets read. So now we need to jump into our beautiful WD-40 section, which is going to be new folder, right? No. I really hope people didn't look what was in that folder. I didn't remember. It's in things. I need to organize these folders better. Here's WD-40. Here are all our things. This is PNGs and things. This is the working directory. So Kumo things, Kumo date, Kumo pos, and Kumo tit. What we're reading now, what we read first is the parameter tit p. These symbols mean that we're looking at a parameter. So we're reading the file with the parameter tit p. Remember, this is all completely built so that it works for everything. So Kumo has its tit p as kumopos .text, and deprived has its tit p as depos .text, and axbear has its tit p as axpos .text. And here you can notice frequency is 7 because this happens every 7 days. Yeah, so it reads titp, which is now our Kumo tit pos, which is, or no, it's Kumo pos, sorry, which just says 12. So it reads that number, it says, okay, number 12, and it puts that in tit pos, which is our title position number. And then file read line reads the individual line of this file. So this file is our tit B, which is our title B. When the title gets sent, which we'll see here, it sends the title, and then it sends title B. So this is implied to be title A. I didn't want to go change all the parameters to say title A. So title A is the beginner section, which just says Kumo desu ka, nani ka. And then title B is the important section, which is individual chapter names. This I am so proud of. So what it does is it reads the position within the file. It reads the position of the title. It reads and it tells this number, which and then it looks in the file for this number, which we just saw was 12. So it reads 12 and it says, okay, 12. What's the 12th line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Blood 24. This is the next episode that needs to go up. Yeah, good. Easy shit. We can check that in a second. So yeah. What that does is it reads that title and it knows that now, and then this is the parameter it gets set to title B. When that sends later, now you have your title A, you have your title B, and then you tab and shit. Next thing we do is we format our time. So this looks at our date. Parameter, which we read the file first. df is date file, which was here. I'm gonna close out of this, which was over here. Which was over here. Our Kumo date file. This is the raw date number. This is 2017 7 July, and then 3 July 3rd, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the next time a Kumo video needs to be uploaded. So when it reads that file, it knows that based on that, and it sets the parameter to D8, and then format time sets a new parameter called date YouTube, because when scheduling a YouTube video, it looks for a very specific format of date, and you need to be able to put that in. We'll just go ahead and get ready to do that anyway. And what this does, it looks for this format. It looks for the month in its simplified form, and then it looks for the date in its, I think this means like no leading zero. So if it's the first, then it says 1 instead of 01, and it looks for the year in 4-digit. So what this does is it sets this parameter to this date, specific like date that AutoHotkey reads as a date in this format is now this parameter. So then it gets the mouse position. I love this command. I fucking love getting mouse position. Getting mouse position is fun. Mouse get pos, mouse get position. And then it clicks 900 over X. So when your mouse is here, let's go ahead and upload 24 and 25. When your mouse is over here, all I need is for it to be over here, because what we're doing is we're setting the time. Hello, Tiger. The reason I don't have it going to a specific thing is this, because it can be any fucking where on the y-axis, but the x-axis is the important one. My mouse doesn't show. X-axis, fucking, if you don't know how a graph works, yeah, the x-axis is the important one. So we get our position, we learn our x and we learn our y. So it goes to x of 900, and it goes to, well, it clicks. It clicks on x of 900 and y of our y1 parameter that we just learned from mouseGetPos. That way, no matter, where we're at in terms of where the screen is scrolled, we'll still be on the same line as this beautiful box. So what that does is it clicks that, and then it goes, and then it sends, I'm going to leave it on private because I don't want to do any of these myself. And then it sends the input down, and then the left button, and then tab. Left button simulates another click, because our mouse, where we're at, is still here. So when that presses down, that sets you to scheduled, and then it clicks again in order to click off. And then from there, it tabs into the time section first, I believe. No, it tabs into the date section and then the time section. So yeah, it does your first tab, and then it waits a little bit, and then it sends our date YouTube parameter that we just made over here, and then it tabs over once more, and then it goes. Now where it's at is it's at this thing. Well, it's tabbed over to it, so it looks more like this. And when you press right, it looks. Yeah, when you press right, it increments up 1. When you press left, it increments down by meters of half an hour. And what the script does is it moves to the right 48 times. So to make absolutely sure, no matter what time I upload this, it moves all the way to the right as far as it can go to 11:30. And then it moves down by the tim parameter, it moves left, by the tim parameter that we set earlier, which is our time, which is our 9. So if we're at 11:30 and we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7 p.m. That's how that gets set to 7 p.m. That's why that thing before it means 7 p.m. This defaults to July 3rd because every time you schedule a video, it defaults to the same time. It defaults to, I think it rounds up to the time that you upload it, and it gives you the next day. So while this is already correct, I'm still going to set it to private for when we run the script and it actually runs the processes. And then it sleeps. It cools down for a second, and then it clicks back in our original mouse get pause positions. So X1 and Y1, it puts me right back on my title. It clicks there, waits a second again. You know, this is like this is built in fucking. This portion almost always works, and the reason is that it waits a little bit sometimes. These aren't optimal, but these are like this is 100 milliseconds, you know, but that gives us a second to cool down, and then it sends our title and our title B, which we learned earlier. Title we set on our own, title B it figures out based on the files. The reason it's done in a file system like this is so fucking brilliant because. Like, I used to think this wasn't possible, you know? And then I learned that AutoHotkey could read files, which means that I can do this date shit. I can do the title shit. Because, you know, this is just a file that has all of the titles that I'll need for a while. The other one has more, you know, like Deprived title has quite a lot more. But yeah. Because this is all the ones that are still on. I'll need to update these files later when I run out, because these are all the ones that are still on the other channel. But the other great thing too here is that I can edit these whenever the fuck I want. This part here is what actually messes with the files. But yeah. So we're sleeping. We're clicking back on the title. We're sending our title. We're tabbing. Insert is here because of key weight. So insert does nothing in in Mozilla Firefox when I'm uploading a video. What this ensures is that this process, none of this happens until the insert key is pressed, and the insert key isn't pressed until all this other shit happens. And that's because the send command works very slowly at times. Because the send command sends every single button one at a time, which is what makes it slower than the paste thing, which is send Control V, which is just send paste, send the paste shortcut. That's when we've already tabbed into the now description section, and we paste right there, and then Yeah, no, so, yeah. We're waiting for insert because we need to make sure that the title is completely done before we tab over. Well, we've tabbed already. But yeah, it waits for insert, and then it sends its thing, and it waits a little bit again, you know, just this is just a safety measure, because, like, if shit happens too fast, it's more likely to mess up. This is, like, not even optimized to be, like, the fastest possible, but it's so fucking fast that, like, I don't even have to think about it. And then it moves. R means relative. It moves where the mouse already was, which was the last time it moved was where the title is. It moves relative to that. 0 on the Y this way, and then 145. No, 0 on the X. Sorry, 0 on the X, which was the important one. 145 on the Y. X was the important one before, because before we were trying to move here, now we're trying to move from here to here. We're moving down by 145, but not moving down relative. This needs to be relative because this can be anywhere, you know? I can't do the same thing I did before because we're working with the Y, and this box is never in the exact same position. But it's always in the exact same position relative to this box. So as long as my mouse is in this box, which is the most important part, this doesn't work if you don't have the mouse in this box. So as long as the mouse is in this box when you start it, and which is why you start from the title, you double click and you type in the title. Let's go ahead and demonstrate once, just real quick. This is everything happening. So it happened very quickly, but you saw it move to the right. It did all these processes. It moved back. It sent this, which is blood 24, which goes up tomorrow. Before, you know, the number was 24. This is blood 24. This is all completely correct. Blood 25 I'm worried about, but we'll see what happens. No, blood 25 is a really long title. It's going to tell me that the title is too long. I know that. Tags sent. Everything fucking sent. One thing we don't have is the thumbnail, and I'll get to that in a second. the reason the thumbnail doesn't happen automatically is because this page looks different from the edit video page, which we'll actually be visiting later on in the video. You can already tell that this video is ridiculously long, and if you're still listening, thank you. I'm doing this for myself mostly. I'm very proud of the script. So it moves down, and it clicks. This is just one click. Click D means it clicks down, sends a down event, and then it waits for 500 milliseconds, and then it clicks up. That's because clicking on this box is really unreliable, and I don't know why, but this just works. Sometimes it doesn't work if I don't have it like this. So it clicks down, and then it clicks up, and then we're absolutely sure we're in the tags box. I mean, we're not absolutely sure, but we're generally sure. And then it sends your tags command. And now here is where we start fucking with the files a little bit more. So specifically, titpos, title position, and date, or the title position and the date thing. So titpos plus means increment by 1. So what this does, this is our parameter that we learned before that we got from the file. So we learned from our file that our title position was, what was it, 12 before? Or something, or like 12 or 24. We learned that our number, and then titpos became that number, 12. Plus means increment by 1, so now titpos is 13. And then what it actually does is it deletes the entire file. It deletes the titp file. It deletes the file that has the name that's in this parameter, titp, which was earlier set to Kumo tit. So it deletes that file, and then it appends that file. File append means that it adds onto the file, but if the file doesn't exist, then it creates the file. So it creates a file called titp, which is still a parameter. When it reads this as whatever's in this parameter's source. So it reads this as Kumo tit, or Kumo pos, sorry. It reads that as, it says kumopos.txt, and it says, okay, make the file called kumopos.txt, and in it, put this parameter, which is our titpos, which we just incremented. So what it does in exact reverse of before, you know? So before where it reads the file, gives you the parameter, here it deletes the file and creates the file and puts the parameter in it. But the difference here is that this parameter is now incremented by 1. So now it should say 13 instead of 12. No, not this one. Kumo pos. 13. And the same thing happens here. A little bit differently here, though. So date is our date parameter that was created earlier from the date file title parameter thing. And this gets incremented 1 by the number called frequency, which for Kumo was set to 1 in days. So what this does is it increments this number, which is this crazy shit, and it increments this number by 1 days. So it knows that this number is a day, and it adds an extra day onto it. So now you see this as 7/4. So the next time this runs, it's going to get set to the 4th, which we'll see in a second. So oh, this is so good. I love this. So it increments by 1, or no. It increments. Sorry, it increments by 1. It increments by the frequency, which is set to 1 in terms of days. So it increments by 1 day, and then it deletes the file, and then it appends the file with our brand new date thing, which we just changed to the incremented by 1. Before I just had this set to 1, but that doesn't work because that only works for the daily videos. And this makes this even more like user-friendly, sort of, because if other people don't want to use it, that they're uploading every day, it could be every 3 days. And with a bit of work, I could probably make it so like to be on specific dates or days, like Mondays and Thursdays or something. God, I don't know if it's still recording even. Yeah. So it deletes the file. It appends the file. Yeah. And then it returns. Return means it's done. This is all completely done. We aren't completely done though. Because this is G. This happens when I press G. What it does is it checks for ready. And this is why G state is called G state, because G is the important button. Before G state was inspired by ready state. So it checks if ready equals 1, and then it clicks where we're at, and it waits for a window called this thing, which is the file upload video, or it waits for a window called file upload with this text. So it waits for the specific thumbnail folder, and then it sleeps a little bit, and then it goes thumbnail position, or no, this actually increments down by 1. This is because thumbnail position is it gets used here. What it does is it shifts down, it tabs. It shift tabs. This holds down shift, then this tabs, and then this lets go of shift. So if you didn't know, when you tab, you move forward. When you shift tab, you move back to right where you were. When we open this thing, it defaults to putting you in the the text portion. I guess I could just show that. It defaults to putting you here. It puts your cursor there, and when we shift tab, we move back, and now we're here. And then what happens from there is it shifts tabs, then it waits a little bit. This part is really, really unreliable, and I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't work. Before, it just didn't work. I'm going to put just like a little bit more weight in it, whatever. And then it goes right by your title position, or by your thumbnail position, sorry. And then it sends enter. The reason it gets incremented down 1 is because thumbnail position is actually, this is built to be a little bit user-friendly, because this thumbnail position section is currently a part of VidHelp Basic. The file portions are not a part of VidHelp Basic because it's a little complicated. You need specific files, and you need to set your working directory, or you need to have all of your files with their specific file name with all the folders before it, like this. And that's just a little bit complicated, and you need to have all the files and everything, and it's just complicated, whatever. What was I saying? Where was I? Yeah, it goes by title or thumbnail position, but incremented down. That's because it's set to be more intuitive. So Kumo is thumbnail position 3, but it's the third one from the left to the right. So it's like, okay, we'll put it as is thumbnail position 3. When we actually shift back, we default to right here, and when we press right 3 times, we end up all the way over here, which is Kata wa Shoujo, which I don't really upload anymore. I think I deleted it actually, which we don't want to happen. So that's why it increments down by 1. So before, when it was instead of moving 3, it moves 2. So from where it's at, it moves to Kumo. And that all happens when we press G, but only if ready is set to 1. See, there we go. And now it's uploading Kumo. Right? But as I said, only if ready is set to 1. If ready is set to 2, it just resets all of the parameters. What it also does is it resets all of the parameters. It doesn't even reset all the parameters. It resets the parameters before I changed a bunch of the parameters and added new parameters. It still even says XTN here. XTN is what it used to use. XTN was the X value of the thumbnail. What it used to be was that I used the X value on this page, which meant that not only for other people to use it, they would have to go learn the X value of each thing, which meant they would have to open up vid search or whatever, or not vid, fucking what am I saying? they would have to open up the Windows Spy and learn and just look at, what X position is my mouse at, and then they'd have to use that. So this is literally, this is super fucking. It's not even a thing anymore. Because now we use thumbnail position instead of the X thing of the thumbnail. But it also sets ready to 0. This just is a way of setting ready to 0 and clearing your title, your tags, and your clipboard, because this really just used to be title, tags, and clipboard. Ready to is for anything where I don't have a set thumbnail for it. This was because before I don't think I have it now. No, I do. SNS. That's structured, not scripted. This sets the title. It doesn't even send a title because the titles are specific. But this gives me a description and some tags for structured, not scripted. But it sets ready to 2 and WinTit, which also is a thing that I used to care about but don't anymore. Sets ready to 2. Which is because the shit just doesn't matter anymore, because there's no thumbnail specific that we're uploading. So what it does is it just clears your parameters and then sets ready to back to 0. And here it says if ready set to 0, just send G, because you've clicked G, so send to G. And that is what happens, and what happens fully when I upload a Kumo video. And that's not even all of the commands, but this is already crazy long, and I should call my mother back, and there's a train coming anyway. I mean, it already came. Yeah, I knew the title would be too long. I was actually, when I was reading this, I was worried that when I was reading it before, I was worried that oh god, I don't know how long this can be. Is that good enough? Fuck. Ah, god, I don't know how long that can be. I might edit that later. But yeah. When I was recording it, I noticed that title was so long. This is weird. Sometimes it doesn't work. Like I said, you saw it work before, it didn't work this time. I don't know why that's the case. But yeah. It's scheduled for July 4th. July 3rd, July 4th, Blood 24, Blood 25. Description's in there, title's in there, thumbnail is probably good. Now, yeah, thumbnail's good. We're just good to go. Those are your G-state commands. Video pad commands we talked. No, that's not G-state. G-state's a little bit different. G-state is G-state isn't important. So if people show an interest, I'll probably update VidHelp Basic with a version that includes more of the title shit, title B and all that. As well as, well, that's about it. G-state commands and video pad commands aren't relevant to everyone. Well, G-state commands are kind of, but G-state commands help me add end cards, which I keep forgetting to do anyway, because I can't do those from the upload section. But yeah, so that's VidHelp Pro. That's how I upload Kumo videos. And thank you for watching, if you actually watched the whole thing.